And all right, so you ready to hear this debate since we are talking? How about how do you feel about how this league went with as many now we're able to criticize this because we're fans. Like it's not like we're gonna find us for saying this stuff. But the officiating as well as the gambling. Do you think the gambling has some involvement of some of these calls that are made late in the game?
It's hard to say about that. You never know because I don't know these people, so I don't know what they pay attention to and don't pay attention to. Can't judge until you can prove it. That's the way I look at it. As for the refereeing in general, especially this week, there, what was it? The Sunday night game, I believe it was, where they, or was it Monday night, where they kicked it and it hit a wire and it should have been re-kicked and they didn't catch it. Hey, they're human. They're human. Stuff happens. That's why we have replay. We have challenges and stuff for stuff. I know there's stuff you can and can't challenge. Maybe they got to look more into that than the referees because they're human. No one's perfect. And this has come from someone that's refereed football and hockey. It's not easy. And that's why I will stick up for the referees a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Because I've been in their shoes. It's not easy. I get you can't see everything. Even with so many eyes, you're still going to miss something. Especially with all them bodies flying around, especially if you think football. Things like the tush push. Great example. All them bodies in there, I can't see if somebody's gouging your eye out on the bottom of the pile. I can't see if they're punching you in the face. You know what I mean? So it's hard to blame it all on the refs. As for, like you said, with the betting, hey, if the referee has a problem, it could lead to them doing something. It has happened in the past, but I can't say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing without them having proof.
Okay. My thing is, it's some certain things. Now I understand what reffing is more of a human error. Okay, but in this day and age, and a lot of sports have picked up for it, and the NFL and the NBA. I don't know if NHL has this technology yet or not, but the whole replay situation where they can actually replay and challenge a call nowadays, not only that can be done on certain occasions, and if a dead ball or when you see the coach have their emergency flag or they throw something out.
Yeah.
Where I'm getting at to with this is that when a call is not right, they actually have a headquarters that is actually reviewing these things at the same time. They call the referee saying, no, this is how it should have went. Overturn that call. Like they have someone above them watching that as well. Now, as an Eagle fan, I am going to use that game as an example. Okay. And here's why. Do I feel that play with the intentional grounding was intentional grounding? Yes, I would. Yes, I do. Because any other time that would have been a fumble. Okay. A fumble, or since there really was no receiver around. Now, because of the penalty that happened afterwards, the players did that out of frustration. They were pissed that it should have been further back as well as another down. Okay. Erase that, move forward. The pass interference play that should have been called would change the dynamic of the game. Why? Because I think with the Eagles being that close, they could either have done a play action or also finally that's a cue to give the ball to Barkley or hit Barkley on a screen or something clever that the Eagles still had in their arsenal they haven't used. But that offensive call that was pass interference that was not called because the guy grabbed him even before the ball was getting there. So there was no way he could even try to catch the ball with the guy hugging him before the ball. That's pass interference. So that kind of changed the whole dynamic of the game, especially in the closing minutes. That is the only aspect I see of it. Am I saying the refs are wrong for that? No, I'm just saying it's a blown call that ruined the dynamic of a game.
And I see your point there.
But
Now
I'm cutting you off. It's just Josh. Because you had two teams that were undefeated. What's the odds of both of those two teams losing? Especially for people who do the FanDuels, the DraftKings, and what other betting games that are out there. It kind of makes it feel like it's hard to pick what teams you expect to win or know to win. And I always go by anything can happen on any given Sunday. But to have some games where it's a 4-point difference, 3 points, I get. 3 points, even 5 points, I understand. But 4 points just sound kind of fishy to me.
like I said, until there's proof, it's hard to say anything. It could be just bad luck. But like you were saying about the challenges stuff, that in all of them, I don't know about the NBA because I don't watch, but NHL does have, you can challenge certain stuff, like a goal you can challenge on it, or all sides, certain stuff. But I know, and in the NFL, you can only challenge. There's only certain stuff you can and can't challenge. And unfortunately, I believe something like that pass interference call, because it wasn't called anything, you can't challenge it. You can't challenge them to make a call. So it's a double-edged sword when you talk about it that way. Because as of course, when it's against your team, you're like, you want them to call it, but when it's your team doing it, you're hoping that they don't call it. You're hoping you're the one getting away with it. So it's a double-edged sword. But I get your point. There should be more stuff that's reviewable and challengeable. Because there's not. It kind of sucks the way they have it set up now. But there should be more stuff you could challenge, especially in NFL. NHL right now seems to be okay with what they do, because I don't want it to be too much to slow the game down too much. But it's different than NFL. There's a lot more going on in the NFL that you should be able to challenge for. We'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, referees are human. We know they're going to miss stuff. You got to remember that. Just like we would miss stuff if it was us. I didn't see that play because I didn't see the end of your game, because I was watching the end of my game. So I did miss that whole sequence there with that. But I get what you're saying, because I've watched games where that's happened. And referees can change it either way, by making the call or not making the call. They can change the way the game goes. It sucks. It happens way too often, especially over recent years. I know it's something that NFL higher ups say they look into and talk about, but who knows? We're not there in the meeting, so I can't say nothing.
Right.
That's why I put quotes that they say. So we're just going by what they tell us.
And just so you know, I'm just saying this as a discussion I was just using that as an example. I'm not whining, crying, or anything like that.
No, I know.
Before anyone wants to say, oh, it's because the Eagles lost. No, I'm just saying. Because I did give Denver their credit. I'm never going to do that on this platform. But if you meet me outside of here, that's a totally different story.